What's up, guys? Weather Wednesday coming at you with another Watcher of Realms video. And today we are going to talk about the 1 year anniversary of the game. Now, actually, we can take a look at when I started real quick. I'm on day 273 of the game. That means I've been playing just about 9 months, which means I did start 2 or 3 months into the game. So I did not play. Actually, that's not true. I did play at global launch, and I played for like a day or 2 or 3, and I just didn't have time for it at the time. I came back a couple months later, tried it out, and I got hooked. And I think there's a good reason why I got hooked. It's because very early on in the game, I'll just say my first 3 legendaries in the game are still 3 of my most important legendaries. My first was Valeria, who I now have at A1, but she was a hard carry early in the game and still useful in some areas, particularly Arena. I don't really use her in Guild Boss anymore because she just dies so easily. But my second was actually Hex, and my third was Zillitu. Still in my clan boss team, still amazing. Also great in Guild Boss 2. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So what I want to do today is kind of talk about my personal account progress and just how I feel about the game overall. But first, I do have a weekly quest where I need to perform 10 summons. Now, I'm not going to go hard on summoning this weekend because of this celebration going on. There's going to be some very big champions coming into the game that I want to be saving for. And so I'm going to do a 10 pull on blue crystals, and maybe, just maybe, I'll get an extra legendary hero. Not very likely, but we're going to try it out. See if we hit gold. We hit at least purple. Okay, we got an epic out of this. And so we're going to see who that epic is. And, okay, we got a Brienne. Pretty darn sure I've already got her A5, but I needed to get that done. Got a couple of blue crystals back out of it. So, no big loss. That's okay. We'll get that as well. And, oh, I got some extra diamonds back as well. So that wasn't too big of a loss. We got our quest out of the way, but I am not going deep because I am at a point in the game where I don't just want any legendary. I want specific legendaries, that are going to help my account. Now, we do have, okay, I got some stuff out of that, whatever. We do have some exciting things coming into the game, but they're not here yet. I think the big celebrations are starting on Monday, so I'm just kind of waiting to see where I really want to start summoning hard. I think that there's going to be another exclusive hero coming up that I'll probably want to go for. There's also, now I could have summoned these red crystals, the special ancient summoning, but there's going to be better 15 times events coming up. This is not what I want. I would take either one of them, I guess, but they're not really what I'm looking for. They're not like a top priority. Now, as far as my account goes, I am level 90. Not that that really means much, but it shows that I have progressed pretty far. I just got past one more wave, so I'm on wave 148. How far up can you go? I think it's only like, is it 160? Yeah, so I'm getting pretty close to the end of the tidal waves. So that's pretty good. I'm still trying to, get my Volca up to A5 or whatever. And, what else is going on in the account? Now, I just made some major progress this past week I was stuck on gear raid 119, 219, and 319 until this past week. I just made a big jump in that I got through stage 20 of all three. Where is, okay, gear raid. So I was just able to get auto runs out of all of these gear raids up to stage 20. Stage 21 is, well, I only tried it on gear raid 3, I think, and I just didn't quite have the gear to do that. So I'm going to wait again, and I'm going to just farm stage 20 as much as possible. I am finally at a point where I feel like I can really, really go after more gear, which is super important. I've just been so hero focused that, you know, I was saving all my diamonds, all of my gems, all of my, you know, crystals, trying to get more and more legendaries, trying to get more heroes. Now I'm at a point where I have pretty much every epic in the game. I'm missing a few. There's like a new one that I don't have. And then there was Iona or whatever, the one that you can pay for. I never paid for, and I haven't summoned her. I think it's possible to summon her, but she's super, super rare. And then there's like one that I don't even think is in the game anymore. And then there was one that was used for a fusion, and I haven't summoned her other than earning her during the fusion, which I used to get, I think it was for this guy, for Crodor, the Crodor fusion. There was an epic that you had to use to get him, and I used all 4 that I had of her, and I did not get any more. So there's like 4-ish epics that I don't have. Maybe there's another 1 or 2 that have been introduced in the game recently. I'm not totally sure, but I have pretty much all the epics, and quite frankly, quite a bit of them are A5. I mean, if you look at here, we can just scroll through and you'll see a lot of A5s. And if there was anything that I wanted to get to A5, like Isolde would be a very good one if I wanted to. I actually have a ton of these awakening materials. I've got 7 currently of these. The gold ones are very hard to come by, and I've only got 1 of the gold one, and I've just been saving it for the right moment when I, you know, perhaps summon a champion that is exclusive or like one of the best lords in the game, and I'll save it for that. But I do have most of the epics, and I have A5 on a lot of the epics. So the epics for me are not a huge concern at this point in the game, but legendaries are. I have made great progress on the legendaries, and I have most of the regular legendaries that I really want. So I'm not talking about the exclusives. I'm not talking about ones that you can only get from ancient crystals. I'm not talking about the lords. I'm just talking about regular legendaries. The ones that I'm missing the most is Hatset for sure. And I don't think Vierna is a lord. I am missing Vierna. I would like her very much. There might be a couple others, but we'll go ahead and take a look at the legendaries I do have. And I'm going to make just a quick grade on them, just how I feel about them on my account. And I'll just do that really quickly. Uridin, I just got him recently. He's not super useful all over the place. He is very good on the tidal waves because his BP is insane. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a B for now. And this is just for my account. You just never know when a hero is suddenly going to be amazing in new content. Now, Silas, he is amazing all over the place. I'm going to give him an S tier grade. Same with Zillatu, super great in Guild Boss, among other areas in the game. I absolutely love her. I have her A1, fortunately, and she's just pretty much a hard carry in guild bosses. Hex, definitely not the Joker, definitely not a ripoff of the Joker from the Batman. He is absolutely S tier as well. He is great in my guild boss team. Setram, I feel personally, is underrated. I really like him. He is very useful in Void Rift. He can also be used somewhat in Gear Raid 3. I really like him. Some people don't, but I do. I would give him an A grade. Comet, one of the best mages in the game. He is. I don't have Boreas. That is another one that I really, really need. But I do have Comet, and I have him A1. He is absolutely top tier. He is S tier in my opinion. Arrogance. Perhaps you saw the video where I got a double legendary where it was Arrogance plus Arrogance, and it was just a couple weeks after this event. And, you know, I had pulled hard for him during the Valentine's event, and I was not able to get him during Valentine's, but I was able to get him a couple weeks later, and he's great. I use him in a lot of places. I would call him S tier as well. There are a lot of S tier champions or heroes in my book toward the top of this list, but those grades will start going down in a little bit. Now, Alistair was a fusion champion as well, or fusion hero as well. We've only had a couple of legendary fusions, and I really think that those need to be a little bit more common. But he is more useful than people talk about. He is very good in the new Guild Boss 2. And I would go ahead and give him A tier. She is also S tier, especially along with Arrogance. Volca, her kit helps your team a lot. What she does herself is not that amazing, but I would go ahead and give her A tier just because of what she does for your team. Valeria, I would go ahead. Early in the game, I would have said S tier, no doubt. Now, I think she's more of an A tier hero because, quite frankly, she just dies a little bit too easily. I'm sure that there are ways to work around that, but I really struggle keeping her alive. But she hits so darn hard. That's why I love her. Razak, again, a little underrated. I still think that he, I'd probably give him more of an A- grade because sometimes you can use Maul a little bit better than him. Maul is just an epic hero that is very easy to obtain. And so sometimes Maul is better than Razak, and that is a little frustrating, but I still think that he's very good in certain areas. So I'm going to give him A-. Alora is also very underrated thanks to her invisibility. I actually use her in Gear Raid 320, and I think she's a little underrated. So I'm going to give her an A as well. Now, Cerberus, I have A1 as well. And he is a very interesting hero, but sometimes these chaotic heroes are just very difficult to use. He's a very cool champion or a hero, but, you know, I struggle to get the best out of him. So for me personally, I'm going to give him like a B+. Now, Artemis, he's very difficult to use. I think that as the game progresses, as I progress, as my gear progresses, I'll probably be able to use him better, but for now, I'm going to say he's a B hero. Now, Leia is a Lord healer and one of the best. I'm going to say that she is, for me now, like she's A+. I think as I get better at the game, I'll probably find more ways to use her better, and she's probably an S tier hero, but I'm still kind of trying to learn how to use her better. Nyx is okay. I'm going to say Nyx is like an A-. Trusk is a little disappointing. I don't use him a whole lot. I'm going to say he's like a B- hero for now. Abomination, I don't love as much as other people do. I think he's okay. You can kind of plug him in certain areas, and he's free. You can fuse him for free. He's easy to obtain. I just don't find him as useful as some people do. I'm going to give him a B-. Venema, I honestly only use to help out Comet. I don't think as a hero herself, she's all that good. So I'm going to give her a C+. She would be a lot better. She's better if you have Comet, that's for sure, as I do, but I don't find her personally that useful. She just gives a little boost to Comet, and that's about it for me. LeSear is decent. I'm going to give him a B. I use him a little bit. I did use him a little bit in... He wasn't like a main factor for me in Gear Raid 120, but I did use him a little bit, and so he is useful. Edith is a pretty new hero in the game. I have personally only found her useful in the defensive codex, and so she probably has more uses in the game, but I haven't really found her super useful yet. I'm going to give her a B- for now. King Hars is a lord, and you know, with the Northerner faction being very tank heavy, he is very useful. I'm going to give him a B+. Crodor, I think, is actually a little underrated. I use him in Gear Raid 220. I really like him. I'm going to give him a solid B. Brokir, one of the best tanks in the game. I'm going to give him an S tier grade. And then Dasomi is... I think he's useful in some places. I'm still kind of trying to figure out how to use him. I think he's an grade A healer. I think he's good, but that's kind of to be determined. He's rather new for me. I'm still trying to figure out his best uses. So I think he has potential. Regulus is okay. Like, if you get him as a defender, he's pretty decent. I'd give him like an A-. Like, he's useful. And then Aelin. I'm going to be honest. I have not used Aelin anywhere except for the codex that needs healers. I needed an extra healer, so I threw her in. I think there are a lot better healers than her, and I haven't really found a special use for her yet. And again, if I'm wrong about something, please let me know. I love getting feedback where I'm told, actually, this hero is amazing in this area, and then I can try them out, because most of these heroes are useful somewhere. Aelin, I haven't really found a use for her outside of that codex, so I'm just going to give her like a C- for now. Please prove me wrong. Magda, I just got. Brand new hero, kind of to be determined on her. I think she's going to be pretty good. I'm going to put her as an A right now, but she's really TBD, kind of incomplete, if I'm honest. I have A1 Cratch. That is a double F-, fail. Rework him, please. Make him useful somewhere besides allegedly he's good in faction trials. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I don't go super hard on faction trials. I just haven't put the effort in there. Ezran is kind of an interesting healer that I really haven't found a whole lot of places for. Some people really like him. I'm just going to say he's a B for me personally. Absin, almost as useless as Cratch. I'm going to give him a C-. Kaniza, I haven't used a whole lot. I think she does have some uses. I'm going to say that she's a B. Kriya, so much worse than getting a Comet or something. I'm going to give her a C. And Anai, she is, again, useful in a codex, and I don't know if she is useful anywhere else. I'm going to say she's like a B-, but she has some potential. And then, I've got all the epics. You probably know who the good ones are, the ones that are used over and over again. We got Idril and Maul and Amari, and, I've got all the good epics, so I'm not going to give all the epics. If you really want a video where I grade all the epics, go ahead and let me know. And if I get a lot of feedback on that, maybe I will. We'll go ahead and check out the Dwarven Association. Nothing there for me right now. Let me get my red dot out of the way. I'm a person that hates red dots, so I try to get rid of them. One thing I hate right now is because of this hero fusion. It tells me I can fuse this hero, but I don't want to get rid of all my fully maxed out epic heroes. So I have to save all of those up again. So that's actually very annoying for me. Now, my progress in the game, I did talk about how far I made it in Gear Raid. So I made it through stage 20, stage 20, stage 20. I talked about that. The gear dungeons are difficult. I'm not going to lie. I was able to get through stage 3 this time, and I haven't put a lot of effort into that over the last few weeks. And Gear Raid 2, I've put almost no effort into because I was focusing on other areas. It does look like I was able to get through stage 2. I could probably get through stage 3 now if I put in the effort. I was just focused on other areas of the game. I was really trying to get through those gear raids. Now, Artifact Material Raid, honestly, I got through this probably 4, 5, 6 months ago. This is one of the easier areas in the game. Not as easy as Promotion Raid, which was insanely easy, and Resource Raid, which is insanely easy. We can talk about, well, there's the Guild Boss, the original Guild Boss. I actually set a new record for me today. I got 31,678 blood. I'll go ahead and show you my team. And, you know, as I said, my heavy hitter, Zealotue, Arrogance, Lust, Hex. And then the rest of them just kind of help out the team. And so this is getting a little bit better as my gear gets a little bit better. But I still have a lot of improvement to go until I can get to, 50K. That only 6 people in my clan got today. So it's hard, no doubt. And then, of course, Guild Boss 2, Titanic Ruins, just came out. And I was starting to run out of time, so I did save one of my runs. So I was able to get 21,000 plus personal total mech fragments, I guess they're calling them. Just on Apocalypse 1, we have almost taken it down. Only a few guys in my clan have even attempted Apocalypse 2. We do have some much better players than me in the clan. I'm kind of middle of the road in my clan, which is kind of where I like to be in a clan if I can possibly be. I like something to shoot for, but I don't like to be like dragging the bottom of a clan where I feel like they might kick me out any day. And then we've got Immortal Codex. Now this is coming up tomorrow, so I can't show you where I would be on these. But in the last version of Immortal Codex, I actually did really well. On the Furious Torrent, I was top 7%. And then the other two, I forget which ones were available, but I was like top 10% and top 11% or somewhere around there. So I've made a lot of improvement on my Immortal Codex teams, and I think this time I will do even better. Faction Trial, I do not put a lot of effort into Faction Trial. Most of them, I'm on stage 9 or 10. I just haven't had the effort in me to do that. And so I've made some pretty good progress on my account. Now, obviously, there are tons of players that are way more advanced than me, and most of them have spent a lot of money. But I'm sure there are some free-to-play players that are much further along than I am. You may know some of them, and some of them might make even better videos than I do. But I'm pretty happy with my progress overall on the account. If I'm honest, a couple months ago, I was kind of dragging in the game, and something kickstarted within me, and I got more motivated, and I was able to get through a lot more content. So I'm actually a lot happier with the game today than I was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, when I kind of felt things were getting a little samey. But the game has introduced a lot of new stuff over the last year. like I feel like they are always putting in new stuff. Now, sometimes for somebody who's still trying to progress, that can be a little bit frustrating. You know, I'm still trying to take down Guild Boss 1 and they introduce Guild Boss 2, and it's a whole new thing I've got to figure out. But I think that is something that is difficult in the game, is that there's so much content to do that don't, unless you have a lot of time to invest into the game, it can be kind of difficult to catch up with all the things, learn about all the heroes, learn about all the mechanics. My Pantheon, it's been level 80 on here for a while. As I said, because I don't go super hard on Faction Trial, this isn't amazingly advanced, but I do my Faction Trial basically every day. So it has made at least some progress in the Pantheon. And so we do have a big celebration. We got this little number 1 right here telling us that we've got big events coming up. And that is, again, what I am trying to save my summons for. Okay, there's a couple more things to talk about. Void Rift. I have been able to beat all of the versions on hard. I'm just a little scared to attempt Nightmare right now. I don't think I have the gear for Nightmare. I think what I should probably do, you know, one day I might just try it out to see how I can do. But I'm guessing that if I can start farming Gear Raid 121, 221, 321, when I get to that point, I can probably take on Nightmare. That's just my guess. If you have a different experience and you've gotten that far, please let me know. Let me know how big of a jump it is from hard to Nightmare. And when it comes to Arena, honestly, I'm usually just in Platinum 3. I do have a video out there where I did reach Overlord, one time, where I finished Overlord for the season. It was very difficult, and I really don't enjoy Arena enough to go that hard into it. Maybe I just need to learn how to get better at it, but that's kind of where I am. I can reach Platinum 3, and I'm pretty comfortable there for now. And then, okay, Campaign. I honestly forget about Campaign a lot of the time, but I can show you how far I've gotten. Normal, I got through the original stages on Normal, but then they added some more stages, so I still have a bit of work to do there. I got through all of the hard, and there's still a little bit of work to do on the expert. Now that I've advanced my account a little bit over the last few weeks, maybe I can make some progress on Campaign. It's just a lot of work to get through Campaign when you only have to beat these stages once. And unlike, say, like when you pass Gear Raid 320, you can then farm Gear Raid 320. Well, I'm not going to farm Campaign E81. So it's kind of a lot of effort to put into Campaign, and it's not that important. But, you know, someday I'll make some progress there too. Now, my Odyssey, like I said, there's a lot of things in the game right now. I am waiting for the Immortal Codex because you have to achieve this rating on 5 different bosses of the Immortal Codex. I'm on 0, so it's going to take me a while to get through this Odyssey, unfortunately. But I am on stage 64 of 82, so maybe in a couple months I'll get to the end of the Odyssey. We'll find out. And lastly, Guild War. Now, thanks to a couple of my, my clan leader and my vice clan leader, they helped me out greatly in improving my defense. There's still a lot for me to learn on how to do this, but I finally have a couple of defenses that are getting me some wins, and we're a pretty good clan or guild when it comes to Guild War. We, at least where we were, is we made it to top 5%. So that's like, I think it's called Plat 3. Let's see, ranking rewards. Yeah, so current rank 5%. We're just under Overlord, And I mean, we're not going to make Overlord. That's top 0.5%. Maybe one day, but not super realistic at the moment. But we are currently ranked top 5%, Plat 3. So we are a very good guild. Thankfully, we've got good leaders and a good support system, and we're doing pretty well there. And like I said, I'm kind of middle of the road in my guild, and I'm pretty happy with that. They helped me out, and I hope that my videos will help somebody else out there as well, kind of give some inspiration. So let me know, how long have you been playing Watcher of Realms? Are you a rather new player, or did you start at launch? Do you have a Forerunner account? Obviously, I don't have a Forerunner account, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with, kind of okay with my position. I am a free-to-play player who kind of grinds out games. So, I'm pretty happy with my progress. I've made a lot of progress recently, and I like how things are going, and I'm starting to kind of figure out where to use heroes and how to build them and, where to place them and stuff. I'm kind of figuring that out a little bit better over time. There's a lot to learn in this game, and, I am trying to improve my knowledge of the game and my understanding. To be honest, a lot of the time, especially early on, I just kind of copied and pasted what others did as best as I could. And occasionally I could make a few adjustments, but I'm trying to learn more and more to be able to do things kind of on my own. But it's a difficult game. What can I say? Learn from others and try to improve your own team. And it can get you places, I'm just an okay player who is free to play, who's grinded out for the last 9 months. I didn't even start at launch, and I'm in a guild that is top 5%. And I'm kind of middle of the pack in the guild. So that's possible. And, if you spend some money, maybe you progress a little bit faster. And if you're a little bit smarter than me, maybe you progress a little bit faster. But that's kind of where I'm at. Let me know what you think of my account. And let me know how your account's going. Are you happy with the heroes that you have collected? Tell me your luckiest pull. I think my luckiest summon, I've had a few. I'm still really shocked by the time that I got Double Arrogance. That was amazing. I just recently pulled Silas a few weeks ago, and that was a huge game changer. And then early on, getting Hex and Zilla, those were super amazing summons for me. And, those were kind of ones that really helped boost my account at different points in the game. So that's it for today. I hope that you have been enjoying Watcher of Realms, and I hope that this celebration that is starting tomorrow is fun. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I am trying to get my subscriber count a little bit higher. If you look above my head, it looks like I am currently at 338 subscribers. If you could help me out and add to that number, I would greatly appreciate it. And I can make more Watcher Realms content. See ya!